Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. The standoff in the Prashant Bhushan Contempt of Court case continues. The Supreme Court today gave 2 days to Mr. Bhushan to reconsider his comments, but Mr. Bhushan, in a statement widely circulated, said he cheerfully submits to any punishment the court may have for him. He stands by his remarks made on Twitter and he considers those remarks an articulation of the highest duty. I'm quoting Prashant Bhushan verbatim. What happens in 2 days from now? Can this issue still be resolved? Joining us now is former Attorney General and a veteran of the legal community, Mr. Soli Sorabjee. Thank you, Mr. Sorabjee. Given the developments where Prashant Bhushan is being asked to show remorse, he's been giving time to show remorse and he says no, he won't. What happens now?
Well, then Prashant should submit to whatever punishment the Supreme Court gives. But it's not a good situation. If you ask me, the Supreme Court itself hasn't come up in good colors. They should at the most warn him, don't make these statements, not punish him, not convict him. It should be done in a harmonious manner. I don't like the way it's happening.
You said the Supreme Court. Doesn't come out in good colors. What do you think the court should have done instead?
Well, he should have warned him and finished. Don't take it seriously. Have warned him and that's all. But not gone to collision course to punish him for contempt. That's, I think, too much. The Supreme Court has shown itself in poor light by doing that. It has been, surely it has got broad shoulders. It can take criticism. He ignored it. Don't make him a martyr. Don't make him a hero. And Prashant Bhushan is not a prankster. He believes in his convictions. So he'll stick to it. So the only way would be to just warn him, give some sort of lecture and forget about it.
So what do you think, Mr. Sorabjee, should happen in 2 days from now?
Well, 2 days from now,
if you were Justice Arun Mishra, who said today that I've never convicted a single person for contempt of court, but a line has to be drawn.
the line has to be drawn where?
Well, he believes that Mr. Bhushan has shown contempt of court.
Well, it all depends on what you think contempt of court. If Bhushan has said something which he believes to be true, and I said he's not a prankster, he's not someone who says things out the drop of a hat, then naturally he will stand by the conviction. And both the bar and the bench must resolve it in a proper manner.
Now, the legal community also seems sharply divided. It seems politicized. There are lawyers who have signed one side. There are others who have signed on the other side. It seems as if the legal community is split wide open on the basis of ideology today. What happens? Like how does a community function when it is so sharply divided?
What ideology in this matter? What's the ideology?
There are lawyers who believe, who have expressed dismay, and there are others who have stood with the court.
Well, ultimately, it's a matter for the court and a matter for Prashant Bhushan. I think it should be, wise decision should be for the court to give a lecture to him or to give something and not convict him, forget it.
Do you think the contempt of court stricture should remain, or is it an archaic law?
Well, if you ask me, it is a bit archaic the way it has been administered. Because truth is no defense to contempt.
Yeah.
Why not? If you can show certain judges on material are dishonest or corrupt, why not? It increases the respect for the judiciary.
But the counter argument is that they believe Mr. Bhushan has made sweeping statements that four former Chief Justices somehow try to destroy democracy.
Let him prove it. Give him a chance to prove it. Let him establish it. If he fails to establish it, and actually if it appears that Prashant made statements recklessly, then he'll pay the price. But otherwise, there's no question about it. I don't believe in this theory, truth is no defense in contempt matter.
So what are the legal principles and the public policy principles at stake here?
The public policy principle is that don't do anything which brings the institution of judiciary in contempt.
Yes.
Where people won't approach the judiciary. They think, oh, judges are dishonest, we won't go to courts, we'll settle it outside the courts by other means. That's what brings this judiciary institution into discontent. But not by saying the truth. If a person like him, and a responsible person, but you may say that obstinate person, but everyone is obstinate, but if you have courage of your convictions, you are obstinate in one sense. But then, this is a thing in which I think politics should be completely out of it. It's a matter between the bar and the bench, and it's really a matter between this whole legal fraternity.
So my last question, Mr. Sorabjee, what would be your advice to the judges and what would be your advice to Mr. Bhushan? Can this be pulled back from the brink in 2 days from now? And if it is not, if Mr. Bhushan refuses to take back his comments and he is either sent to jail or fined, what precedents are we setting?
In the first place, judges should not send him to jail at all. Don't take away his personal liberty for saying that. Give him an opportunity to establish facts. If he fails to establish it, then punish him, naturally. But don't say, no, we won't let you to establish it, just you said this, 2 days of defense and contempt action. Nonsensical, why not? And he's a person who believes in, he's an obstinate person, and he wants to apologize. But then in any case, this should be resolved without any politics getting in.
So how does it get resolved? How would you give a prescription for how this should be resolved?
Well, if I were on the bench, I'd give a lecture to Prashant Bhushan, tell him what he's done is not right, and warn him. And tell him don't repeat it.
But they've already found him guilty of contempt. So what should the court do now?
Guilty of contempt doesn't mean you send him to jail. Guilty of contempt means just 1 day's.
So you're saying a mild rap on the knuckles and let it go.
Right.
So let us see if the Supreme Court does show that magnanimity. Prashant Bhushan in his statement said he's not asking for that magnanimity. It is amusing Mr. Sorabjee, who's seen many a thing in his lifetime, but he says the Supreme Court, by doing this, is not showing itself in a good light.
And I hope I'm not in contempt by saying that.
I don't think anyone would dare to file a contempt of court proceedings against Mr. Sorabjee.